Good afternoon. Today is Friday. Today is the day my kids get out of school for winter break. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 4:30. This morning I worked on making my mother's, which was my grandmother's, food saver, one of those vacuum seal systems, work. One of the things we're getting for Nathaniel, I don't know if I told you this already or not, is a whole bunch of steaks. And so my husband got a big hunk of meat and I cut it up and I read all the instructions in the food saver, which by the way I've never used before. And you have to press really, really hard on this unit. I don't know if that's standard throughout all of them or what, but oh my gosh. Like I was hovering over the top of it, pressing down with both hands, leaning over it, putting all my weight on it in order to get it to do the things that it needs to do. So he has a pile of steaks in the freezer now, individually wrapped. I am in theory still going to go get some white or brown wrapping paper and wrap them up and label them. So I did part of that last night and part of that this morning. That was exhausting. In fact, I had not intended to go to bed after I got done last night. I did run out of bags, which is why it was across 2 days. Although I'm not certain I could have physically done any more. It just, the amount of exertion you need for that particular, I'm given to understand that maybe that isn't the way that newer models work, but in any event, my arms were hurting so bad after doing that last night. I took Advil and went to bed. And even though I only had 2 steaks to fix this morning left, by the time I got that done, my arms were just aching again and my hands were shaking. So I decided to fix myself a nice breakfast and sit with a book for a little while and just kind of relax. And when I get done with that, I decided I was going to go take a shower. And for some reason, I got only cold water. And I got so cold that I made a bad decision. I decided that I would crawl into my bed and pull the covers up over my nose until I warmed up. I had my book with me. I fell asleep. So I lost a couple of hours today. And then I skipped lunch so that I could run around and do more crazy Christmas crafting shopping. Some of it's crafting. Mostly it's shopping. I have to wrap a lot of presents and I have to tally everything. I keep everything on a spreadsheet. Probably shouldn't say this on the internet because then my kids could hop on my computer and look up the spreadsheet and find out what they're getting for Christmas. They probably wouldn't do that. But I keep everything on a spreadsheet, what I'm making and what I am buying. And then when I order it, I'll write it in. And when I've actually wrapped it, then I'll color it in. I just fill, it's an Excel sheet. And then I have one color for purchase things and one color for made things. And if I come up with an idea for someone and don't get around to making it, then I just move it to the next. I just make a new tab and move it forward so that when I have ideas, right around Christmas, when I have all of this energy toward making things, I tend to come up with idea after idea after idea of things that people want. And those ideas far outstretch the amount of time that is available in December, even if I give up sleep, which I'm not giving up at all this year. I am totally sleeping. Which might be why I can't find that stress bubble. Like, there have been a couple of moments this season where I've been like, I am so behind. And for the most part, I'm just like, yeah, I'm behind. I'll get to what I get to. I'll work on it. I'll diligently work, and that's the best anyone can do. So I've been going to bed at fairly reasonable hours for me, and I feel better. Now, I did crash out for sleep, but I actually had a thought. I have trouble with my potassium levels, and I've been drinking lots of teas that all have licorice in them. And licorice root is not good for helping you maintain your potassium levels. It normally is something I'm conscious of, and it just really wasn't because I was trying all these new teas. And I'm wondering if some of my I sit down and then I fall asleep is because of that. I don't know if it is or not, but I'm going to have my afternoon beverage be a cup of coffee for a couple of days and see if that helps. So I'm going to eat my lunch. It's 4:30. I'm already making dinner. So I'm just having a little lettuce salad so that, you know, I don't turn into a screaming evil woman. And I am going to sit here and rap and listen to podcasts. So I'm going to wrap here, and my screen is here, so I can kind of see them, but for the most part, I don't end up watching them. I end up listening to them when I'm rapping. I did get to, I feel like I've been working on this like way longer than I have. Realistically, I haven't been working on this for very long. But I did get to the point where I'm going to put on the heels for the socks, and hopefully that will be yet tonight that I'll get the heels on. I don't know if it will. The kids are upstairs making their gingerbread house kits. I have one very neat and orderly one that is determinedly following the picture. It's very much like the picture on the box of the kits. And one that was impatient and her house collapsed, so now she's stacking them and just adding more and more frosting and licking things. Luckily we never eat the gingerbread houses. Does anyone actually eat those gingerbread house kits? Like, the gingerbread is tooth breaking. In fact, you might be able to use it as a replacement tooth, I think. In any event, I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to get to work. And I will chat with you later. I haven't opened Advent or anything yet. I will probably do that later this evening. And I might pan through the wines that I've opened. I haven't shown any in a while. Good evening. It is 1 a.m. I'm tired, and when I finish filming this segment, I'm going to bed. This is my third try at filming this segment. So while I was wrapping lots of Christmas presents, I was listening to TED Talks on getting rid of stuff. I am not a minimalist, but I'm feeling kind of crowded. I have lots of wonderful things in this room. Well, like my wonderful things. Most of the presents are no longer in this room. Bins and bins of fabric and buckets of yarn, and yarn squirreled away, and yarn that I don't classify as stash because, well, it's just there. And I need to make some space. I haven't decided yet what form the fiber diet is going to be in. It may just be in a knit all the things, sew all the things kind of way. But I'm tired. There's lots of stuff around. I have done a mini heel flap adjustment on these, which changes the look of the pattern for a while right here. I'm curious to see how that's gonna look when it's done. I absolutely love this yarn, and I love this project. This is Rowan Fine Art. I immediately took the ball bands off 2 different colorways and scrambled them, so I don't know which color number it is. Neither one of them had a name associated with it, something that I could identify as this is the green one and this is the blue one. So this is the green one. It is wool and mohair and silk, mulberry silk, and some polymade. And I absolutely love working with it, and I love how it's turning out. And I feel like these are taking forever, but I know they're not. I know that they got started last week Tuesday, or Wednesday, last week Wednesday. They got started on Wednesday, and today is Friday of the following week. I haven't been working on them that long. I'm not super fast. I'm roughly 35 stitches a minute, and that's if I'm like I'm racing a clock. That is not the speed at which I am normally knitting. So I don't know. I just feel like even though I'm enjoying every bit of this, I wish I had another couple of weeks to do it because I would enjoy it more. So this evening has been pizza making and gingerbread house making, and I was going to take pictures on this camera, and they ate them. They ate them for dessert. There's one left, and there's a pile of broken gingerbread and sadness in my garbage can. So, no pictures. Well, I can show you the box, and that's what one of them did in fact look like. Badger's was nearly identical, except for she built a snowman out of disembodied gummy bears and frosting. She like used the physical structure of the gummy bear. She cut it into pieces and put frosting around it to make the balls of the snowman, and then reassembled it with frosting. It looked great. Apparently it was really tasty too. So there is that. Our tea tonight is called Serenity, and it has linden leaves, catnip, spearmint, calendula, and lavender in it. Can't really smell it through the bag. I can open it. I don't just have to go like this. I don't know why I was just doing that. Okay, so this is the Cormo. Artemis. That is beautiful. I'm gonna, maybe I'll edit, but I don't know which way it's gonna catch the light. Arian is so talented. I really like the pops of blue in this one. Makes it look like the copper's already turnishing. All right. Oh wow, that is a beautiful shade of green. There is a little tonality to it, but it is very much, there's not a ton, like just enough to be interesting, but you could totally use this as a solid. That's really pretty. It's one of my favorite shades of green. All right. Oh, I am going to, I feel like there's something on my face. I am going to do one more of the little shawls. I did the 5 shawls in 5 days challenge, and I'm going to make one more crescent shawl in this colorway, in this yarn. I don't like this yarn. I'm going to make that shawl, and then I am thrift storing the rest of this yarn. It is Red Heart, and it is, I think they called it Unforgettable. It is certainly unforgettable. I originally cast on a sweater. It was going to be the baby sweater that I did on all gray in this, and it's pretty, but it is so loosely spun, because it's a single, that it broke in casting. It lost enough twist in casting on that it just separated out. Like 1, 2, that's it. 2 and 4 inches. So yeah, not really looking forward to using it, but I think it will be very pretty for that. If it drives me absolutely nuts, I'll stop and pick something else, and if that happens, I probably won't even donate this. I'll probably just throw it away. I did give some consideration to running this through my spinning wheel. I don't have time for that. So the shawl is going to be maybe this big. It is for a stuffed animal, a stuffed bunny that belongs to Bunny. Yeah, And I am probably only going to spend 1 hour total on it sometime in the next 4 days. So I have a little bit more shopping to do, which will then result in more wrapping. I have to make a pair of pajamas for each girl. I am going to make some beeswax wraps, and I am going to assemble a fancy mixed pepper blend and put it in some pepper mills. And I'm going to make some hand lotion and assemble other things where I already have the thing and now I have the container and I have to put them together and put a label on it. And I'm certain I'm forgetting stuff. Oh, and make some project bags. Like 5. And I have 3 days. I know that the rest of the world has 4 days, but I have 3 days. Because we have a celebration of life event on Sunday. So we have to go do that. It's been kind of a emotionally taxing Christmas time. A lot of times people, how do I say this? A lot of times people see things on the news and those things are out there. And every once in a while something will happen and that will bring that happens out in the outer world, fear, into your life. And that happened to us this year. And for the most part, we've gone beyond it. But it was just the start of a whole bunch of sad things. A whole bunch of events that we're on the periphery of, or that affect us, but they more affect our friends or our family. And it's not one thing, it's a whole bunch of things, and many of them are tragedies, and some of them are tragedies that are averted but are taxing. And a shiny bow and tinsel cannot fix everything. It can't fix death, and it can't fix the end. And it can't fix fear, or loneliness, or hopelessness. It can't fix anger, whether that's big, important anger, or petty, trivial, passive-aggressive anger. And everything just feels heavier right now. And I don't know if it's right now because of a series of unfortunate events, not the book, not the movie, actual unfortunate events, or it feels heavier now because our perception is that this time period should be joy and light. The darkness is still gaining, but soon. Soon each day will be a little brighter. So I hope that you're not being asked to bear more than you can. I hope that if you are, you have a friend who can help. And I hope you get some sleep. but not weird middle of the day, you got too cold and fell asleep, because that just makes everything weird for the rest of the day. All right, I have been philosophical and vaguely depressing, and I am gonna go to bed now. Merry Christmas.